Good afternoon. So last class we started with the new lesson. So that was Union Legislature. So previous class I just started with the introduction. Then I started with a very important concept of the lesson. So that was two houses of the parliament. That is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So we started to discuss in the previous class. So previous class I discussed about both the houses, how the elections are conducted, what type of election Lok Sabha is having, and what type of election Rajya Sabha is having. So that we had discussed in the previous class. And at the same time we also discussed about the qualification. Suppose you want to become a member of Lok Sabha, what should be your qualification? At the same time, if you want to become a member of Rajya Sabha, what should be your qualification? So that we had discussed in the previous class. Then term or tenure. Suppose if you become a Lok Sabha member, or suppose if you become a Rajya Sabha member, so how long you can remain in that particular position, or how long you can be a member of both the houses. Okay, so that we had discussed in the previous class. And at the same time, we also discussed very important concept of the lesson in the previous class, that was composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so how many members are there in the Lok Sabha and how many members are there in Rajya Sabha? How many are elected by the people and how many are nominated by the President of India to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? So all the things we had discussed in the previous class. So before I enter into the last topic of the lesson, so that is powers and functions of the parliament, I wanted to say three more the concepts related to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha which we should know. Okay, that is nothing but one is about session, then about the languages and presiding officer. Okay, of both the houses. So I just want to take in today's class. Okay, so in today's class, so we will come to know about Lok Sabha session and languages and presiding officers. Almost session and language is similar in both, but presiding officers will have a bit changes, so that I will tell you. So when we talk about the sessions in the sense meetings, okay, that's nothing but meetings. In Lok Sabha, if a meeting should be conducted, okay, in Lok Sabha, if a meeting conducted or session to take place, a minimum number of members required to conduct a business. The conduct a business means nothing but that particular day what they are going to discuss. That topic itself, conduct the business. Okay, so according to the Indian Constitution, in the Parliament, when Lok Sabha is having a meeting or when Lok Sabha is in the session, at least minimum number should be there. Now, for example, 545 are the current strength of Lok Sabha. So, in that 545, at least 60 to 80 ministers should be there in the Lok Sabha to conduct a meeting or conduct a session. If less than the number, the session will not take place on that particular day. That is the reason I have written here 1/10. 1/10 means approximately from 60 to 80 members should be there out of 545. Okay, out of 545, 60 to 80 members, if they are present in the Lok Sabha, then that particular day session will take place. Otherwise, no session will take place. That is the reason it's called, what do you mean by session means? A minimum number of members required to conduct a business, that is 1/10, is known as sessions. Same thing even here in the Rajya Sabha also. But here what happens? Current strength is 250 members. Okay, so here if it is 60 to 80 members if there is to conduct a business, but here just it will start with the 30. If 30 members are there, the session can take place. Okay, that is only the variation there, because the current strength of Rajya Sabha is smaller than the Lok Sabha. Okay, here it is more larger members, but here it is small numbers. Okay, that's the one thing so which we are having it. Then second very important thing is the Indian Constitution says in a year both the houses should meet at least twice. Okay, in a year we are having I mean 12 months. Okay, in a year we are having 12 months. So in this 12 months, they should meet at least twice. Okay, in a year. Okay, at least twice they have to meet. But more than twice they will have a meet. But according to the constitution, the meeting of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, at least the two meetings should take place in a year. That is in 12 months. And that how it should take place. It's not that two meetings, since I said first 6 months without meeting, spending the next 6 months conducting two meetings. No. Okay, that is the reason I have written here. 6 months should not pass without a session. From Jan to, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. Okay, from June. Within this month, one session should take place, compulsory. Okay, after that, one session can take place. Okay, there should not be a gap between the 6 months without, or they should not pass a time without a session between the 6 months. No. Okay, since constitution says in a year if they meet twice, that is enough. That doesn't mean that 6 months without meeting, spending a time, and after 6 months, in that 6 months to 3 months once meet, 3 months once meet. No. Okay, that's it. So according to the constitution, twice both the houses should meet, and there should not be a gap of 6 months without a meeting. Okay, and there are 3 types of sessions. Usually there are 6 types, but for now there are 3 types of session. One is budget session. Okay, it's nothing but we call it a summer session, budget session, monsoon session, and winter session. So what are these sessions? So when you come to class 10, you will come to know. But for timing, you should know. The types of sessions, if you know, so that is enough. Okay, budget session. So I hope everybody know about the budget session, monsoon and winter sessions. Okay, so when you come to class 10, so you will know about all types of sessions. So we will be knowing it. So that's about the first concepts, that is sessions we are having for the both. The second thing is, what are the languages you can use it in the parliament? We call it as the languages of parliament. Okay, in India, in parliament, what are the languages you can use? We can use only 2 languages, either English or Hindi. Okay, these are the 2 languages which are used. Either English or Hindi you can use. Okay, suppose I don't know English and Hindi, then what can I do? Okay, suppose if I don't know English and Hindi, so what can I do? Okay, so that time I can express my thoughts and views in my mother tongue. Okay, in my mother tongue. If I want to use my mother tongue in a parliament or in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, I should take the permission from the presiding officer of the house, who will be called as a speaker. We have to ask him. Here speaker, their ex-officer chairman or vice president, if they give a permission, then I can use mother tongue in the parliament. Otherwise, no. Presiding officer of Lok Sabha and presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, if they give a permission to a person who don't know English and Hindi to express his views and thoughts, if they give permission, they can express it, in a mother tongue. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, this is only the 2 languages which is used. Okay, so that's about the languages, so which we are having it. So next we are having, very important, is presiding officers. Now Lok Sabha is there, 545 representatives are there. So who looks after them? Okay, who takes care of that Lok Sabha house? And here who takes care of Rajya Sabha house? We call them as a presiding officer, or we will give them a title. Okay, title we will give. So like that, in Lok Sabha will be under the control and under the care of a title or a person who is called as the speaker. It is a title, it's not a name of a person. Okay, it's almost like a title, or which is given to the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. Okay, the speaker is the presiding officer of a Lok Sabha, and their term will be 5 years. And the speaker will be elected from only ruling party. Okay, now right now in central government, central we are having BJP as a ruling party, and currently now the Om Birla, so he is the current speaker of Lok Sabha house, is from a BJP party. Okay, current. Always the speaker of Lok Sabha will be from a ruling party. Okay, ruling party, they will be there. In case if the speaker is not there, in his absence in the sense he may resign and go, or suddenly a death can take up, or suddenly is functioning, the members of Lok Sabha, they are not happy, so they remove him, or when he is not feeling well or when he falls sick. So during that time, instead of speaker, who will take care of Lok Sabha in the absence? That is the reason we use our sentence absence. Absence in the sense these are the four. One is a voluntary resignation or death, or when he or she is removed, or when they are fall sick. Okay, so during that time there will be a person who is called as deputy speaker. Okay, so in the absence of a speaker, deputy speaker will be the presiding officers, but we don't call him as speaker. We call, in the absence of a speaker, deputy speaker is the presiding officer of a Lok Sabha. So one thing you keep it in mind, speaker usually 5 years is the term. So after the 5 years, when the new Lok Sabha election takes up, till new speakers or still new speaker is elected to the Lok Sabha, the speaker will continue. Okay, immediately after the completion of 5 years of a term, he will not give up his seat. He will be giving up his seat only after the conduct of new election. In that, party is formed. So in that Lok Sabha is formed, the speaker is elected, then he vacate the seat. Okay, but usually we call him as a 5 years of a term. Okay, and when we come to presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, it's we call them with the title like ex officio chairman. Usually this is the title for the presiding officer of Lok Sabha. Popularly we use, or we call vice president. Okay, right now who is the vice president? That is Venkaiah Naidu, or a chairman. Three titles we can use. Anything you can write it. Ex officio chairman, or a vice president, or a chairman is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. And that particular vice president, they cannot be from a ruling party. And here deputy speaker can be in any of political party. It's not that there should be there from, but speaker is compulsory. They should be from the ruling party only. Okay, that's the one thing. Then in the absence of vice president, same thing here also. When vice president is resigns, or his death takes place, or when he is removed, or when he falls sick, deputy chairman will be the presiding officer in the absence of ex officio chairman. Okay, so these are something about, or some knowledge about the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha which we are having it. But still many more things are there to talk about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. That are when you come to class 10th. So you will be having a in detail study. Here just like an introduction we have taken up it. Now the two classes I have discussed very important thing about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So in that majorly election, types of election for both the houses you should know. Then composition. Then here in today's class, the presiding officer. Okay, this is a very important thing. So which we should know it. The next class we will go with a very important topic of the lesson. So that will be powers and functions of the parliament. So that's about the two houses of the parliament. So which we are having it. So next class, so we will go with the powers and functions of the parliament. So previous class and this class, so what we have discussed, so once again you go through it, and current the speaker and current the chairman of the Rajya Sabha you should know. Om Birla is the current speaker and Venkaiah Naidu is the current ex officio or vice president or chairman of the Rajya Sabha, which I should know it. So next class we will go with the one more new topic, that is powers and functions of parliament. Thank you.